So let's see today's simple Goan cabbage foogath. Now here I've taken one medium-sized cabbage, washed it really well, and I've soaked it in water for about 15 minutes, to which I added salt. After that again I rinsed it well. Now I'm going to take off the stalk and I'm going to cut it up into half. Now take off any little bit of brownish leaves that are there. And now I'm just going to cut around it like this, just turning the cabbage around with a very sharp knife. And don't use the white stalk part. So just keep turning the cabbage around and just keep cutting. And that way you'll get these nice thin shreds. And again I'm going to go, once I finish with it, I'm going to again take my knife and just go over the leaves again and cut them up really thin. So don't use the white thick stocky part. Now this recipe is super simple. It gets ready within about hardly 8 minutes because cabbage cooks really fast. And it has very few ingredients, as you'll see. And this can be had with chapatis or even with some fish curry rice. It's really nice. And now after chopping up the cabbage, I'm going to transfer it to a bowl, and you can see if there are any big parts, just run your knife through them. And one more tip is always discard the outer covering of the cabbage leaves. However fresh they look, don't use those leaves. Anyway, let's go on to the recipe. So here I've heated about 1 tablespoon of oil. Once my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, which is also called mohri or rai. Now let the mustard seeds splutter in the oil. I'm going to add 1 chopped green chili. They're cooking on a low to medium flame. Let the chili fry nicely in the oil. Then I've taken 1 inch of ginger, chopped it really fine. I'm going to add that. Let the ginger also fry in the oil. Next, I'm going to add a few curry leaves, say about 7 or 8 curry leaves. You can keep the curry leaves whole or you can even chop them. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. And last, I'm going to add 1 medium-sized onion that I've cut fine. Now we're going to bagar everything or fry everything really well till the onion gets a nice and translucent. So we're done with all the ingredients. Now we just have to add our cabbage, which we've chopped. I've used the entire medium-sized cabbage. This is enough for 4 people. And then mix everything well. See that the bagar, coats all of the cabbage nicely. So you don't have any white parts of the cabbage, but everything is nicely covered with the yellow bagar. This is very important. Now cabbage is one thing which cooks so fast because you can even eat cabbage raw. So, it doesn't take much time, and you shouldn't have a very mushy cabbage also. So just cover and cook this for about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame and keep stirring in between. And now we're just going to add some salt to taste, and I like to add a pinch of sugar. Now again mix everything well. See that the salt and the sugar coat everything really well. So our cabbage is almost cooked. So now I'm just going to keep it on an open flame and just stir it around. So we just have another 2 minutes of cooking this and we are almost done. So this is a super fast dish. So you can always, prep your cabbage, keep it cut in the refrigerator, and then when you're ready, just get get it done. So now I'm just going to cook this for 1 minute. And now I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of fresh grated coconut. Now you can go less on the coconut, but I like to add a lot of coconut to my cabbage. It just elevates the flavor. You can also add a little bit just for garnish. But I like to add a whole, 1/4 cup of nicely freshly grated coconut. And now mix everything well. The cabbage has to be mixed nicely with the coconut. And now we just have about half a minute of cooking, and then we're going to turn off the flame and your recipe is all ready. So you can have this, with nice chapatis, or you can have it as a side dish with some fish curry rice, or even with a meat curry rice, anything. It's just very nice and delicious and really refreshing and nice for the summer too. So I hope you like this recipe. To give it a try, I'll catch you in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Bye guys. So we're first going to wash the drumsticks very well, and then using a peeler or a knife, we're just going to peel off this thick outer skin. And then we're going to cut it up into smaller pieces. You can cut them as to whatever your requirement is. And here I just boiling them in some water till they are just about cooked. Now we're going to grind this masala paste for this lovely drumsticks, okay? Now here I have about half a cup of fresh grated coconut, and I'm going to keep a little bit aside for garnish. I also have 2 light green chilies which I've cut into half, 1 inch of ginger and about 7 cloves of garlic. This is about 1 teaspoon of jeera seeds or cumin and half a teaspoon of turmeric. And here I have 1 medium-sized onion which I'm going to use for the bagar. So here I'm just cooking this a little bit, not completely. And today I'm going to grind my masala on this grinding stone rather than using the mixer. There's just something about grinding the masala on this fator or grinding stone. It just has its own flavor, and you don't have to use a lot of water, and it just has a different flavor altogether. And I just love grinding masalas or chutneys whenever it's possible for me and I have the time to grind it on this fator. First of all, it brings back all my childhood memories of my holidays in Goa, in my grandparents' home, where we had both this flat fator as well as, I think it's called the rogdo, the big one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we used to use that when my grandmother wanted to make something in a larger quantity, and I was always assigned the job of grinding the masalas. So this does bring back my childhood memories. And I don't know, if you have a fator at home, then use it, because even chutneys, coconut chutneys, or even rechad masala, I mean, it just comes out different on this stone rather than just putting everything into the mixer pot. If you have the time, again, you can do it. So now you see the paste, it's so nice and fine. And now I'm going to use this masala water also. And what you can do is just keep a steel plate or something at the side of the the corner, and then just take a little water and just swipe it like that in this manner, and that's how you can save the reserve water for the sukke. So now let's get on with the recipe now that we have our masala paste in place. So I'm just heating about 1 tablespoon of oil in my pan, and I'm going to bagar my onion till it is nice and translucent. Then we're going to add the masala paste, and we're going to fry the paste well till you get the lovely aroma of the paste. So once your onion is nice and translucent, you're going to add the paste and you're going to fry this for a bit. I don't know how far it's true, but I've always been told that if you fry your onions well on a low to medium heat and your masala as well, even the life of the vegetable or the curry does remain longer. I don't know how far it is true, but I stick to that. So fry your onions well, fry your masala well, and now I'm going to add my drumsticks, which I have cooked, semi-cooked. The reason I've semi-cooked it is because drumsticks do take some time to cook, and if you just put them into this sukke directly and add some water, they tend to sometimes. And now I'm going to add the masala water. we don't need to add too much of water because we've already cooked the drumstick. So like I was saying, when you pre-cook it, then you don't need to really be worried about it being raw or, you know, difficult to eat. And now I'm going to add some salt and a pinch of sugar and give everything a good mix. And then I'm going to cover and cook it for about 5 minutes. Now this is optional, but I like this little bit of a tangy flavor to my sukke. So I'm going to just soak about half a teaspoon of tamarind in some water for about 5 minutes and then squeeze out the juice. And I'm going to add this tamarind juice. Now this is completely optional. If you don't want the tamarind juice, just skip it. But it does add a little bit of the tangy flavor and makes it, you know, even more delicious. So now we're just going to cook everything till the water completely is dried, or you can retain a little bit, and your drumstick sukke is ready. I'm just going to garnish it with some lovely fresh coconut. Now this goes very well with some rice or some chapatis or puris, and the best part is just, you know, biting on those drumsticks and just